Let's start in a nice, comfortable, seated position. Maybe have your hips elevated on, if you have a block handy, or just a pillow, a bolster, a blanket. Maybe get your hips into a better alignment, being over your knees. And just whatever's good for your spine. Just kind of feel it out. What's a good, comfortable seated position for you. And then once you're situated, get a nice, long, tall spine. Lengthen your neck. Maybe tilt your neck back just a little bit because it tends to be angled forward. And your hands resting on your knees, palms down for relaxation, palms up for a little more energy. And let's just listen to our breath for a moment before we start. And maybe gaze gently at the floor or close your eyes. And just listen to your breath for a few moments. And if your breath is shallow or short, try and lengthen your inhales and your exhales to whatever's comfortable for you. Also, maybe try breathing in and out through your nose. Tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, this would be a nice time to do so. If you'd like to devote it to someone you're thinking of that's not well, or just a state of being, peace, tranquility, harmony, or just an intention of staying present in the class. Take another couple of nice, deep breaths. And on your next exhale, lower your chin to your chest, but keep your shoulders rolled back and down. And then on an inhale, roll your right ear to your right shoulder. And exhale your chin to chest. And next inhale, roll your left ear to your left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. Inhaling ear to shoulder, exhaling chin to chest. And then do one more each side. And then come to stillness with your head straight ahead, and then lower your right ear to your right shoulder to a comfortable position, and then straighten your left arm and flex your left hand. Get a nice neck stretch here. And then if it's comfortable for you, you could put a little pressure on the outside of your head with your right hand to give a little bit more of a stretch. Whatever's comfortable for you, and take a breath here. Then on an inhale, release your hand from your head and straighten your arm, and then take your left ear to your left shoulder, straighten your right arm, get a nice stretch, and then if it's comfortable, use your left hand for a little pressure to pull down for just a little more stretch. And take a nice breath here. Then on an inhale, release your hand from your head. And take your fingers out and make tenths. And on an inhale, reach up for the sky, using your whole breath, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. This time we're going to inhale up and exhale, fold over to your right side. Inhale up, exhale to your left side. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. And do one more each side. The next time, come to center on an inhale, and exhale, twist your torso to the right, and then lower your hands for a gentle twist. Then inhale back to center. Exhale, twist your torso to the left, and lower your hands. Then do a few of these at your own speed, inhaling to center, exhaling to twist, at your own speed with your own breath. And do one more each side. And the next inhale, come to center, and then reach up like you're climbing a rope. Alternating hands, getting a really good side stretch here. Reaching, reaching. Keep reaching. One more each side. And then come to stillness again. Now straighten your arms out to the side and bring your right arm over your left arm for eagle arms. Whatever's comfortable for you as far as you can wrap your arms. And then once you're situated, push your arms up toward your hands up towards the ceiling just a little bit more to get a nice back shoulder stretch. Take a breath here. Then inhale, release your arms, and then bring your left arm over your right arm. And again, to eagle arms, get situated, and then press your hands up towards the ceiling just a little bit more, and take a breath. Then your next inhale, release your arms, take them behind you and clasp your hands, straighten your arms, and take a nice inhale. And exhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling as much as you can. Then on an inhale, release your hands, bring them to your knees. And if you are elevated on a block or a pillow, you might want to come down to be more level. And if your ankles are crossed one direction, switch directions. Then we're going to do some waist rotations. On an inhale, rotate around with your waist towards the front, big slow circles, exhaling around to the back. Let's do one more this direction. And then change direction. Just rotating around with your waist, your spine. And then come to stillness, and on an inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, flat back, fold over as far as you can, and then lower down. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. Then use your hands to walk yourself back up. And bring your legs straight out in front of you and flex your feet. Activate your legs, get a nice tension there. Sit up nice and tall on your sits bones. Lengthen your spine again. Maybe tilt your neck back just a little bit so it's not tilted forward. And then take a nice inhale. Reach for the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips again, flat back. Reach and then gently fold over. Take a couple of breaths here. And your next inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up and bring your right foot in, your left foot in, sorry, your right foot out. So you have two kind of 90-degree angles here with your left foot in and your right foot out. And get situated, nice and comfortable. Then inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the left this time and lower your hands. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So make small adjustments. Maybe press a little bit more on the outside of your left knee with your right hand to twist a little bit more. Maybe look over your left shoulder behind you. Take some nice inhales and exhales. Then look back over your right shoulder. And then back over your left shoulder. And your next inhale, reverse your twist to the other side. And then inhale back to center. Now come up on your knees and stay on your left knee, stretch out your right leg. And then on an inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale over your right leg for gate pose. Really reach with that top arm for the far wall space. Then inhale, reach back up and over with your left arm down to the floor. And then up and over with your right arm. Really reach with your right hand, one direction, press with your right foot into the floor, and breathe. Now on your next inhale, we're going to do large circles with your right arm, inhaling up and around. Inhaling up, exhaling down. One more. And then change direction. And then we're going to come to stillness with your hand on your waist and get nice and sturdy in your left hand so that you can support yourself. And we're going to do some slow leg lifts, inhaling up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. One more, up and down. And then inhale back up with your left arm and over one more time for gate pose. Over your right leg. Inhale back up with your arm and bring your knees back in. And we're going to sit back down with this time your right foot in and your left foot out for two 90-degree angles again. And then once you're situated, inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the right this time and lower your hands. And again, we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. Maybe press on the outside of your right knee with your left hand to get a little more of a twist on an exhale. A couple of nice deep breaths here. And look over your left shoulder. And then back over your right shoulder. Then on your next inhale, reverse your twist to the other side. On your next inhale, come back to center and come up on your knees again. And this time, it's going to be on our right knee. Straighten your left leg. And inhale with your right arm. Reach over for gate pose. Then inhale back up and over with your right hand down to the mat, up and over with your left arm. Take a breath here. Then on the next inhale, we're going to do big circles, inhaling up and around, up. You could even go back a little bit with your arm here if you would like, if that's comfortable. And then change directions. And then we're going to come to stillness with our right hand on our waist for the leg lifts on this side. So inhale up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Last time, up and down. And then inhale back up with your right arm and over one more time for gate pose. Now inhale back up with your arm, bring your knees in, and let's go to tabletop. So establish a good tabletop with your wrists right under your shoulders, nice long back, spine, neck. And then once you're situated in a nice sturdy table, take an inhale. On the exhale, look over your right shoulder at your right heel and ankle and shift your hips a little to the left. Nice left side stretch. Then inhale, center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder and shift your hips to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, right shoulder. And center. And left shoulder. And center. One more time each side. Right shoulder. And center. And left shoulder. And center. Now take your right leg straight back, flex your foot. Really press your heel away from you. Get a really nice calf stretch. Bring your right knee in, straighten your left leg. And press your heel away from you. Get a nice calf stretch here. Now your next inhale, lift your leg straight up and your arms straight out. Take a nice breath. Really reach with your hand, press with your heel. Take an inhale and exhale to the mat. Then lift your left arm, right leg. And really reach with your hand, press with your heel. Take an inhale and exhale to the mat. Now alternate. Lift right arm, left leg. Exhale down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. And exhale down. Right arm, left leg. Exhale down. Left arm, right leg. And exhale down. Let's melt back into child's pose for a few breaths. And if child's pose isn't comfortable for you to have your knees together, you can have your knees just slightly apart, not necessarily a wide knee, but just slightly apart so your hips can have a place to go. So let's take a few breaths here in child's pose. And your next inhale, let's come back up into tabletop. And in tabletop, if your wrists are bothering you at all, you can make fists with your wrist and just keep your thumb on the outside. But bring your left hand to the center of the mat. And on an inhale, reach up with your right arm. Inhale up. And exhale through for thread the needle. And then get situated and thread the needle. Make small adjustments. You could walk your hand up, further up the mat to press your hips further back. Take some nice deep breaths here. If you would like to take a bind, you can reach up with your right arm and around behind you. Or you can just stay in a nice position and thread the needle. A couple more nice deep breaths here. And then if you have you're in a bind, on your next inhale, release your left arm from the bind and bring it down to the mat and press yourself back up for an inhale. One more time, reach up with your right arm and exhale to the mat. Now bring your right hand closer to the center of the mat. Inhale, reach up with your left arm and exhale through for thread the needle on this side. And again, make small adjustments. Maybe walk your right hand further up the mat to press your hips further back. If you like to take a bind, you could reach up and around with your right arm. And if you're in a bind, release the bind with your right hand, press it back to the mat. Reach up one more time with your left arm and exhale back to the mat. Now walk your hands up to the top corners of your mat and your knees back a little so they stay under your hips. And then melt down into puppy pose. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. In your next inhale, look between your hands and slide forward onto your stomach. For Sphinx pose. Once you're positioned in a good Sphinx pose with your elbows under your shoulders, your fingers spread apart so you can really grip the mat. Then shrug yourself forward on your hips to get a little more activation in your abdominal muscles. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So you can do whatever you would like with your head. You can look around. You can look down, but just try not to lower your shoulders. You might even want to try shrugging alternate shoulders forward. Very slowly, and try that out. And then come to stillness if you are moving. And then lower down to the mat. Straighten your arms above your head, your legs straight out. And on an inhale, lift your right arm and your left leg. And exhale to the mat. Next inhale, lift your left arm, right leg. Exhale to the mat. Alternate right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. Last time, right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. And on the next inhale, we're going to lift both our arms and our legs and hold it for a few breaths. So inhale up. And breathe. And exhale to the mat. Now make a pillow with your hands for your head and bring your toes together and let your heels fall out for a crocodile pose. Just stay here for a couple of breaths. You could rock your hips A little side to side. That feels good. And breathe. Okay, next inhale, let's press back up into tabletop and into downward dog. And establish a nice solid downward dog. Nice long spine, long neck, hip bones lifted towards the ceiling, heels pressing towards the mat. Take a breath or two. And then let's walk our dog. Raise one heel as high as you can, press the other one as far down as you can, and alternate. Then come to stillness and look between your hands and bring your right leg through for a low lunge. And then once you've established a solid low lunge, take an inhale and exhale. Do a twist to your right with prayer hands. And then inhale to the center and exhale, twist to your right and do an extended side angle. Then inhale back to center and lower your knee to the mat. Then take an inhale a little deeper into your lunge without compressing your back, just a little deeper into your lunge. And exhale back for a hamstring stretch. You can extend your arms if that feels comfortable, or you can keep them on the mat. Then inhale back into your lunge and exhale back. And then one more. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. For this hamstring stretch, we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So you might want to put your hands on the mat to support yourself. Might want to try flexing your right foot if you're not already. Nice flat, long back, as flat as you can. And take a few breaths. And in your next inhale, come forward and walk your foot over to the left side of your mat and lower your knee down for pigeon. And in pigeon, your back leg can be either straight or it could be bent to any degree. You could bend it to 90 degrees, whatever is comfortable for you. You'll still get the same effect in pigeon. So the main goal with pigeon is to have your hips level so that when you lift your hands, you don't tip over. So if you need to put a little blanket or something under your hip to keep level, that might be helpful. So once you establish a nice solid pigeon, take a nice inhale and exhale. Slowly walk your hands down to the mat and your head. And then we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, so you might want to make small adjustments. Maybe flex your right foot if you're not already. Maybe try and lower your left hip closer to the mat. Nice deep inhales and exhales. If you'd like to try something different with your arms while we're here, you could straighten your left arm, bring your right arm through for thread the needle. If you have your right arm thread through, unthread it, and then push yourself back up for pigeon. Take a breath here. And then press back up into downward dog again. And in downward dog this time, let's inhale up onto our tippy toes and exhale down, lower your heels. Inhale up, exhale down. One more, inhale up, exhale down. Then look between your hands and bring your left foot through for low lunge on the left side. And then once you're established in your low lunge, take an inhale and exhale with prayer hands, twist to your left. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, open to extended side angle. Then inhale back to center, and lower your knee down to the mat, and reach up for the sky, and inhale, go a little deeper into your lunge, and exhale back into hamstring stretch. Again, straightening your arms if you like to. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. One more, inhale, lunge. Exhale back, and this time we're going to hold it for a few breaths. So if you like to place your hands on the mat for support, maybe flex your left foot if you're not already. Nice flat back. And breathe. On your next inhale, come forward and walk your foot over to the right side of your mat. Lower your knee to the mat for pigeon on this side. And again, your leg could be straight or bent to any degree, to 90 degrees, whatever is comfortable for you for pigeon. But if your leg is straight, look back and make sure it's as straight as it can be, not sickling. And again, check your hips to see if they're level and you don't tip over when you lift your hands. Otherwise, you might need something under your left hip, a little blanket or pillow or something. So get a nice solid pigeon. Inhale and exhale, slowly walk down. Make a pillow with your hands for your head. Again, we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so maybe flex your left foot if you're not already. Maybe try and lower your right hip closer to the mat. If you like to try something different with your arms, you could straighten your right arm and thread your left arm through for thread the needle arms. And if you have your arm thread through, unthread it and press back up into pigeon. Take a breath and then press back up into downward dog one more time. And now press down into plank. And establish a nice solid plank, nice long neck, long spine. And then bring your left hand to the center of the mat. Swoosh your heels to the left for side plank. And you could be down on one knee here or down on your elbows, all kinds of modifications. So take a few breaths here. You can do a few wrist rotations. And exhale your hands to the mat, back to plank. And then bring your right hand to the center of the mat. Swoosh your heels to the right for side plank on this side. Again, you could be on your knee, one knee here, or down on your elbow. And exhale your hand to the mat. Back to plank. While we're in plank, let's bend a right knee, and then bend your left knee. Right knee, and left knee. Right knee, and left knee. Great. Come to stillness. And press back into downward dog. Then look between your hands and walk your feet up, however you need to, right foot, left foot, and into forward fold. And then place your right hand on the mat, bend your right knee, and reach up with your left arm reach up with your right arm for a twist. And grasp your right ankle if you can. Take a breath. Then lower to the mat. Then place your right hand on the mat, bend your right knee, reach up with your left arm for a twist. And grasp your left ankle if you can. And exhale back to the mat. Then on an inhale, bend your knees if you need to, hinge at the hips, flat back, reach for the sky. Then exhale to the right. Inhale center. Exhale to the left. Inhale center. Exhale a little back bend. Inhale center. Exhale, hands heart center. Now let's establish a good Tadasana before we move along. So by getting your feet about hip width apart, lifting all your toes and then lowering them down one at a time. Come up on your tippy toes and down. A little tension in your legs. Nice neutral pelvis, not tilted back, not forward, just nice and neutral. And you want to roll your shoulders up, back, and down because that helps bring your neck into better alignment too, because it still tends to be tilted forward just a little bit. So get a nice solid Tadasana. Then you almost want to feel like you have a string pulling out the top of your head to lengthen your spine. And then your hands can be relaxed. Let's take a few breaths here. Okay, on your next inhale, we're going to come up on our tippy toes and reach up above our head. Inhale up. And exhale down into chair with prayer hands. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. Let's stay here. Take an inhale. And on an exhale, twist your torso to your left. Prop your elbow on your knee if you can. And stay here for a breath. Then inhale back to center. Exhale, twist your torso to the right. Prop your elbow on your knee if you can. And inhale back to center. Sit a little deeper. And inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, flat back, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. And then take your feet about shoulder width apart and point your right foot, it'll be your left foot, move the mirror, your left foot towards the straight and then 90-degree with your right foot. And establish a solid warrior 2. Look down to check your knee that's bent, check it to see if it's as over your ankle as it can be for good alignment. Shoulders roll back and down. Arms shoulder height. Take a nice inhale. Next inhale, straighten for reverse triangle. Your left arm will be over your head, both legs straight. Then inhale back over into extended side angle with your right knee bent. Sorry, your left knee. Then inhale, straighten. Exhale, reverse warrior with your left arm over your head, left knee bent. Inhale, straighten. Back into warrior two. Go a little faster this time. Inhale, reverse triangle. Inhale over into extended side angle. Over your left knee, your right arm over. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, straighten, and then shift your right hip out. Reach with your left arm over for triangle. Then inhale into pyramid. And then windmill your arms back up and over, and reverse direction for warrior two, facing your right side. With your right knee bent, establish a nice solid warrior two. Check your knee over your ankle, make sure it's not splayed in or out. Roll back shoulders, arms shoulder height. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Then inhale into reverse triangle with your right arm over your head, both legs straight. Then inhale over into extended side angle over your right leg. Your left arm is over your head. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior with your right arm over your head, your right knee bent. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Last time, inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Inhale, straighten. Now shift your left hip out. Reach with your right arm over for triangle. Then inhale into pyramid. And exhale. Then inhale, windmill your arms back up and over. Your hands on your hips. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips, flat back, forward fold. And instead of just hanging your head down, relaxing here, try maybe pressing your hands into the floor. Get a little different tension there and see how that feels. But if you would like to just go a little deeper, that's fine too. And walk your hands over to your right foot. And then walk your hands over to your left foot. And then back to center. And hands on your hips, flat back. Inhale, up. Good. Now, bring your feet back together into the top of your mat. And inhale, come up on your tippy toes, reach for the sky. And exhale, lower into chair on your tippy toes. And then keep going down all the way to the floor, all the way down to sit down. And we're going to do a few back rolls. And then come to stillness on your back. And position for a nice bridge with your heels close to your middle finger. And on an inhale, lift your hips up for a bridge and your arms over your head. Inhale up. Exhale, lower slowly down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more, inhale up. Exhale down. And this time in bridge, we're going to hold it for a few breaths. You might not want to raise your arms over your head. You could tuck your shoulders under your back if that's comfortable. So inhale up. Get situated and breathe. On an next exhale, if your shoulders are rolled under your back, untuck them, and then lower down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae last. And then bring your feet straight above your head for a waterfall. Do a few ankle rotations, and then change direction with your ankles. You can do some pointing and flexing with your feet. You can open your legs into a triangle if it's comfortable. And bring your feet back together. And then bring your feet down to the mat and put your left ankle on your right ankle on your left knee, and then reach behind either your thigh and grasp for reclining figure 4, or grasp your shin. That's a different tension level there. So whichever's comfortable for you, either behind your thigh or your shin, grabbing your shin. Get comfortable for reclining figure 4. And if you're reaching behind your thigh, you could press with your right elbow on your right knee for a little more of a stretch. You can flex your feet, try that. See how that feels. Take a few nice deep breaths here. And then release your left foot to the mat. Bring your right foot to the mat. Place your left ankle on your right knee. And again, reach through behind your thigh of your right leg or grasp your shin, whichever is more comfortable for you. And then if your feet are not flexed, you might want to flex those. And breathe. And then next exhale, release your feet to the mat and straighten your right leg and take your left knee across for a twist. And then take your left arm perpendicular behind your body. You can apply a little pressure with your right hand on the outside of your left knee to bring it down a little bit further if that's comfortable. Try looking over your left shoulder. And breathe. next inhale, roll back onto your back with both your feet on the mat, and then straighten your left leg. Take your right knee across for a twist this direction. Take your right arm perpendicular behind you. Try and look over your right shoulder. You can apply a little pressure on the outside of your right knee with your left hand to bring it down closer to the floor. And breathe. Next inhale, roll back onto your back again. And straighten both your legs and your arms above your head. Take a nice inhale, and full body stretch, and exhale. Relax. And then roll gently onto your right side. And then press up into a comfortable seated position. And if you have a few moments after this practice, if you could do a little more savasana, that would probably be great for you. If you have just 5 minutes to do a short savasana, it'd be wonderful. So thank you for practicing with me, and I hope to see you again. And namaste.